Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast. You can find more episodes on any major podcasting platform such as Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and even on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure to follow and like Spoiler Force Podcast on Facebook.
What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. Listen, I have a podcast studio. I do multiple podcasts. I listen to Kevin Smith's podcast. Those podcasts don't matter. The only podcast that matters, Spoiler Force Podcast. They record in Michigan, my friends. And if that's not an indication of how awesome this podcast is, my man Ricky Veng, the host, he's Asian. So that's all you need to know. I love the Spoiler Force Podcast. Listen to it, subscribe to it, like it, download every episode, and then do all that all over again because I love Ricky and I love the Spoiler Force Podcast. This is Ming Chen. I love you, Ricky. I love Spoiler Force Podcast. Listen to it, everybody.
Sorry about that. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Ricky. This is Spoiler Force Podcast, episode 74. This week's guest is a returning guest and my cousin. We spoke about anime and those kind of topics back on episode 60. So if you have not listened to that episode or watched it yet, please do, because that was actually my first official live video on Facebook and Twitch and stuff like that. So yeah, let me just bring in my cousin so we can just start off this this topic here. All right, there you go.
Hey.
All right. So thank you, Moang, for joining in and making time to be on this on the podcast again. Like your setup, man. I like your Funko Pops you got there with the Deku's right there.
I got the background trailer playing for Re:Zero.
Yeah, Re:Zero is going to be actually what we're going to be starting off with. You know, Re:Zero was we talked about that a little bit on our last episode too, but it wasn't. I don't even think like we were only like a few episodes in when we talked about the last podcast, or at least when you were on.
we were like to like less than 3 episodes, less than 3 or 4 episodes in.
Yeah, so before we get started with the Re:Zero talk, I do want to let you guys know, if you guys can, please like, share, and subscribe to Spoiler Force Podcast on Facebook, Twitch, on YouTube as well, and also on all podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Amazon, practically everything that's podcast related. Help listen to the episodes and check out all the other guests that I had on the podcast. Again, I'm just doing more video podcasts, so in the future, pretty much for the end of this year until the next year, I'll be doing more video podcasts. This month I'm actually trying out more live episodes versus pre-recorded ones. So if this goes well, if you guys like what I do for the month of November, maybe I can do more live episodes like this versus just pre-recorded or audio versions. But yeah, let's continue on, man. Re:Zero Season 2 Part 1. Now, that was one of the few animes this year, or at least summer animes, right? And I was just very excited for it. You know, with that finale from season 1, you know, who is Rem?
It had a good finale. And the thing is, the Who is Rem thing, they didn't even have that in until they finished the remastered, or the remaster after they remastered season 1.
Okay, yeah, because I watched the director's cut on Crunchyroll, and that's how I got into it. Because, like, you know, I was into Re:Zero very late. So
I told you, I kept telling you, you're holding off.
So much stuff.
It's a good anime because it's not just fighting; it's a lot of mystery.
Yeah, that's what I really like. Like the whole, was it Groundhog's Day theory? Like
where
just
reviving and dying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where Subaru keeps coming back and stuff, and what's crazy about, hold on, I feel like
it's easy to write it off because it seems like it's just another isekai.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I knew something looked weird with my stream. I forgot my background was gone. But yeah, the isekai theme stuff, man. Like, again, for those who don't know, I wasn't too big on that, man. I was very hesitant watching that kind of stuff, and then if it wasn't for Konosuba, then I wouldn't have gotten into the isekai theme anime. But again, back to Ray Zero, man, just how they ended, or at least ended with that extra scene from season 1's finale, and then went right back to it where they pick up where Subaru and Amelia are.
It had a good finale already, right? With the whole ending with when he confesses feelings to Amelia. It's super cheesy, but like I think that was a really good way to end it on a finale, and it actually ended on a very big note as a season 1. Right? It didn't necessarily leave us on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it made audiences. I don't know. It's for me, it was a big cliffhanger because it made me want more.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I like how season 2 just picked right up from there. It wasn't like
it was quick.
Yeah, it wasn't. Hold on. It wasn't an extra scene, or it wasn't anything special. I'll be right back. Let me just make my dog be quiet. Sorry about that. My dog was being annoying. I didn't even know that she was in the room with me. Like, she's so quiet, and then next thing you know, she's just barking like crazy. But yeah, back to where they picked up from season 2. Like, it was really quick. They went from Emilia and Subaru to what happened to Rem, and that's what everyone wanted to see, was because in the trailers that's what they were teasing the most with Rem and what's the
Krush? She lost her arm and everything too.
And they fought. They fought
the Archbishop of Greed, I believe.
Greed and
Sloth.
Not Sloth. Was it
Sloth?
It was
Hunger.
Damn, I'm dropping the name.
It's not obesity. It's it's something with craving. Like you can't satisfy his hunger.
Anyone who's watching, you guys know what we're talking about. Please drop a comment.
Gluttony.
There you go. Yeah, if you're watching, please join in too. That way, if we like brain fart or something, you guys know the answer. Just help us out a little bit too. Yeah, but gluttony and greed, they were only in that one episode.
Yeah, they didn't come back because I think from what I've heard is they're more of like a season 4 material, season 3, season 4. I think season 4 material, because from what I've heard is they haven't even really gotten to them in the manga yet.
Okay, yeah, because I only read a little bit of the manga, and then the light novel I was trying to read into it, but I just couldn't do it.
Well, because the light novel is just mostly it's not really any pictures. It's just like a chapter book. What people kind of, I think what makes Ray Zero so good is that it's not just a straight up manga. Because it's actually based off of a light novel. Like it's like the creator, he's not a manga artist. What he does is he writes the stories. And what's really cool is a fun fact is every year on I think April 1st on Subaru's birthday, the manga or the creator actually writes a short story of Subaru taking a different path.
Okay, is that how like they did the whole Subaru and Rem what if storyline? Is that?
Yeah,
was that?
Yep. There's a lot of what if stories. So there's a what if. That one's a what if. I forgot what it's called, but that's when he ends up with Rem. There's a what if of Pride where he actually doesn't want the first season when he asked Reinhardt for help. He actually, that one's Pride where he refuses to ask for Reinhardt's help and tries to take on Elsa alone. and he dies like a million, like 200 times normal.
Damn. Yeah, we'll be talking about Elsa in a bit too, because that character is crazy in season 2.
Beatrice is Beatrice. This was her episode, or this season was Beatrice's episode.
I always liked her character. I always thought that Beatrice was a bit underused.
She's a tsundere.
Yeah, because like I knew that she had a lot of power with her magic, and I wanted to see more of it. Because like the only thing I remember was when she made that pact with Subaru, and then she fought off, or she attempted to fight off freaking Rosewall's bitch ass. I hate Rosewall, man. Don't even get me started on Rosewall, dude.
I told you the episode before we found out. I told you that guy was, or before we find out how sus he was. I told you that dude is sus.
Like even from season 1, man. Like the first time I seen him, and he had Rams on his lap. I was like, that dude is so sus right
creepy.
now.
Mm-hmm.
I did not trust Rosewall at all. And
Well, it's like the same. It's what Subaru's been saying. Because then the whole season 1 finale is like, dude, where the hell were you?
he was nowhere to be found. He only showed like the only big scene he had was when he helped fight off the demon dog, and that was it. And then like he just wandered off like, all right, you guys are good on your own.
Why did he even? He only showed up. He probably showed up just because there's no point. Honestly,
yeah, but
I'm surprised he even showed up on that when to save them at that point in the beginning of season 1.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to see more of his powers because like I was wondering why was he just so reserved in every every big scenario, and how why he was just so concentrated on Amelia, and they never really dug deep into it until
why he's supporting her.
Yeah, but let's continue on, man, because we've already talked about the beginnings of Ray Zero season 2 episode part 1, but what did you think of the witches, man? From Echidna, I think that's her name. I can never.
Echidna. It's either Echidna or Echidna. I think those are the two ways to say it.
Yeah, what you think of those witches, man? Because like those were the characters that really stood out the most to me.
I think
this season, or at least this half of the season.
I think the first time they showed them wasn't really a lot of information. I couldn't really judge too much on it because they kind of just came in and did their thing. But I think the finale was huge in revealing who they were and what they wanted. Because it's basically a harem. they all want something to do with Subaru.
But I like how they did that too, though. Like every witch had their own way of either supporting or not supporting.
Well, there's a reason why Echidna, during that monologue and everything, there's a reason why she didn't act. Because she knew that if she did something, one of the other witches could kill her at that time. Because the reason why Echidna has to be so methodical is because she controls that entire world. And so if she actually dies, all the witches die.
Right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's so many like minor details I didn't really pay attention to.
Well,
but go ahead.
It's hard because there's so much that went on with emotionally and what they did. Like, for example, Minerva.
That was my favorite. She was my favorite.
Yeah, because Minerva actually can't hurt anybody. She has no ability. Her sin is was it justice or wrath? So she actually she doesn't want to hurt anybody. Her ability, she can only heal. All of her, she has no offensive abilities. She's all healing.
Yeah, that's why like she was so into bringing Subaru back. Like she wanted him to stay alive. But I like how they introduced her though. Like she just came out from the sky and just dropped down. She's very powerful looking. And then there was Pride, the little kid. Like we thought that it was we our first assumptions was like before they when they only showed like the silhouettes, we assumed that it was one of the children that was at least around Subaru from the actual world.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But it was actually just another child, a witch child. But her power was crazy too because like she touches Subaru's arm and next thing you know his arm's gone.
I think she's weird because like she when they first met him, she ripped off his arm, but then during that final meeting, she's like, "Who hurt you?" She was mad who hurt him. So it's like she's a weird. Like she's willing to hurt Subaru, but she also wants to help Subaru.
I think with her ability too, it was based off of his guilt, right, or his sins. But she said that he had none, and then but he still felt guilty in a way.
Yeah, so that probably was it. Subaru, it's the witches were crazy.
Well, who else was there? There was Gluttony. Gluttony was pretty cool because she was like all chained up in that big dungeon-looking thing.
Gluttony was more for that first part. That first part when they meet her, because she explains that she made all the three world eaters or whatever. Because she made the whale, and then she made the rabbits, and there's a third one that I don't remember. I don't think they discussed it.
No, it was the rabbit, the whale, and there was one more. I think they showed it. Fuck, it's gonna kill me.
But it doesn't matter right now. I think what's the big one is the rabbits.
Because that scene was pretty crazy, man. When they showed the rabbits,
when the first time he met the rabbits and he got eaten alive, that was nuts.
Yeah, I think maybe the other what do they call it? The Maju beast? Was it the dogs? Was that one of them? The rabbits, the dogs, and the whale, was that it?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, yeah, well, I just was trying to take a quick look to see if I could find it, but it was she had to help, she gave Subaru the information to help kill off the rabbits because they had to starve them because they were eating everything, and then
well, then you can't kill them one at a time.
yeah, you had to do it all at once, but then like okay, we'll just skip to this part then since we're on the demon rabbits. You know, when we learn more about freaking Rosewall's plan, like the dude was crazy. He was telling Subaru like, you know, you gotta be like me and you gotta be pretty much like selfish and heartless and stuff like that, and pretty much just don't care about anyone if you want to survive.
It's because the book. He's following the book, and I think the issue, what scared Subaru the most wasn't Roseball, but it was the book telling him what to do, and that it could be different the next time. So the book is what is contradicting his plans, I think.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything written in it, was it? Like, was he just following it to see if there was instructions in there, or was it just...
there is writing in there, but the writing stops whenever you're gonna die. So when there's, it's kind of like how when Beatrice explained it. Beatrice, when her book has nothing written in it, then she knows she's gonna die.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to. She kept waiting to see how she was gonna die, but it never happened. But yeah, dude, like Rosewall, man, fuck him. That's like our cousin Lee. He hates Subaru, but I hate Rosewall, man. I hate Rosewall.
Subaru, we can hate him, but it's understandable where he's at, and like I mean, for me, I kind of forgive him a little bit because that dude killed himself after seeing Rem die, so he deserved that.
Dude, speaking about that too, like how he killed himself when he met the witches, when they were all together and they were
he bit his tongue.
Yeah, dude, that was...
If he died there, he actually would have died. Like because there's a lot of speculation of even though the biggest reason why Subaru comes back alive is because of if there's regret. If there's any regret left, he does come back alive because the power is given to him by Satella. So in a way, if he refuses to come back alive, it's possible for him to not come back alive anymore.
Yeah, but he's so focused on trying to get Rem back, even though she's not the main heroine.
I know I don't get it. It's confusing. He's simping for Amelia, but at the same time he loves Rem so much. It's like, dude.
What did you think of when they showed Satella, man? Like when like kind of like the scene where he walked into the cave and Amelia was like all like crazy.
That one was crazy. When Amelia went crazy, there's a lot of speculation. I think because then that was what was worse for him because he doesn't want. It's weird how he doesn't want Rem to just. I mean, he doesn't want Amelia to just love him like that. It's kind of like he wants to work for her love. The reason why he likes Amelia is because Amelia obviously doesn't like him back yet. But he doesn't like the girl that likes him. It's like, come on, what's going on here?
I don't know. It's so weird with how his dynamic is as a main character. He wants the girl, but then like he's playing that whole hard to get chase.
He wants
game.
the girl that he can't have.
Yeah, it's crazy. If anything, he should just go for Ram. Then if that's the case, the shit hates him. Like, and I like that too. Like I know we're jumping all over the place, but pretty much like Ray Zero season 2 that's how it was. It's pretty much all over the place. You know, like there's so many different character arcs, and Ram was definitely one of them. I loved how they showcased more of her skill set, and they let her develop more as a character, and how willing she was for like to do things for Rosewall. And that was one scene that I was like, damn, dude, like she was willing to die for Rosewall's cause, and not even like care about it.
Not even a showcase. It's more of showing how weak they all are.
Yeah, dude, Rosewall beat the shit out of everyone. That's why I hate him too. Like he took out. I was gonna say Bakugo, but
basically Bakugo. I forgot his name. Garfield.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy when he killed Ram, and then Garfield could have transformed, but he was so sad that Ram died. It was crazy. Like he was like, I'm not afraid to kill you, but the thing is, when she dies, he's so sad. He doesn't want, because he was trying not to transform the entire time, because he knew if he transformed, he wouldn't be able to heal Ram.
And you know, with Garfield on the topic too, Garfield, the way how he killed Subaru, like in the earlier episodes, and
he's killed everybody.
Yeah, he
killed everybody.
The monster. Damn, dude, I was not expecting it, and I wasn't expecting him and Eric is it Eric Edna or Erica, whatever, the other maid, the beast maid, like how they were related.
Yeah, they're half brother, half sister.
Yeah,
I
like
think
he's
their
more of a
dad.
beast than she is, though, right? Is that what
Yeah,
it was?
yeah. She's more human.
Yeah, and like she, I wish they showed more of her too. Like they only really showcased her was when Subaru went back trying
Yeah,
to save
when
people.
she transformed, but that's about it to the extent of her, and she just died right away or she supposedly died right away
Do you think she's
to.
a villain though, or do you think she's on the good
No,
side?
not anymore. I don't think she's really that sus at all because you look at Ram and Erica, they're kind of just pawns. Like they don't really know anything.
That's true. Yeah, it's okay.
Even
So
Beatrice, I thought Beatrice was pretty sus too, but until everything kind of added up, I was just like, dude, this whole thing is obviously Roswell's. He's the main source. Before they called it out in the show, I knew he had to have been the one who hired the assassins. He was the only one that could have hired the assassins.
That is right. That's right. That's right.
After that episode, I thought maybe it was after we confirmed that it wasn't Betty, because I thought that she at the end of the where he died, right, when he died on the arc, when he was in the room, and she was saying a name that we didn't know, I thought it could have been her. But then the thing is, after we watched her die, I'm like, dude, it can't be her. Then it's got to be Roswell.
Yeah, dude. Like oh man, see, you brought up another reason why I hate Roswell. He turned on his own people, man. Like he hired Elsa and that other demon child to take him out, and
the imposter.
Yeah, the imposter killed the demon dog. Like, dude, I hated that episode was so crazy to me because it was just so hard to believe that that whatever Subaru did, he couldn't save them. Like regardless if he was in the forest with those people or out back at the mansion, whatever decision he made, people were dying regardless, and that's what made me like really feel bad for Subaru because he was trying so hard to do everything and he couldn't do it. He had no power to stop anything. And then like just the whole Elsa scene where she came back and you don't know what happened to Rem either.
She turned Elsa into stone and Elsa came back and stabbed her in the back. Like, what?
Yeah. That was a good scene too when she fought Beatrice and right outside the mansion. Like you see Beatrice her dark energy power and stuff like that. I thought that
she killed Subaru, but she actually transported him to a different location. She sent him back to the place.
Yeah, and that's what I thought was crazy too, because like in the previous episodes when you think he's gonna get killed and then Beatrice transports him, it's like he was so upset. He's like, "Man, you should have just killed me." You know, I need to start over, and he couldn't do it. And you know, like you said, man, with Beatrice being one of the main focuses in this season, or at least this first half of the season.
I think this arc is mostly about Beatrice. She's basically the Ram of the season.
Dude, I really liked how they explored her story, man. Like how she's just an immortal witch waiting for death. Like how she made the deal with.
She's the same thing with Puck. She's a spirit. She's just another spirit, just waiting forever because she can never die, and she can also never kill herself.
Yeah, that's what was crazy. She had to wait all those years to make sure like someone had to come kill her. And
the only reason why she liked she tsundere to Subaru, but she thought that he could have been the one to kill her, or he could have been the one, because when they did the whole Subaru experiencing the alternate past, that was crazy. When the trial was showing him what would happen if he died.
Oh yeah, like each scenario, like when he fell off the cliff, and then when he turned frozen.
Because when he fell off the cliff, it showed a little bit after that she was actually spawning off what she was before. She was like she didn't want him to die because she thought that he was going to be the one.
Yeah, and it makes sense like why she made that pact with him back in season 1 too, because she was expecting him to be the one that kills her. But now that you bring that up too, Moang, like, man, those like I guess those alternate endings, like where each death Subaru had. I was so glad that they showcased that, because we were talking about the whole multiverse theory thing with Ray Zero, how Subaru has that possibility to do that.
The thing is, we don't know if they're real or not. That's the biggest thing. Because they never Ekidana, she never confirmed or denied it that they were real or fake.
Yeah, she just showed him those memories of
Mhm.
what happened. Like I think the one that I liked the most was when they finally showed Reinhardt again. Because he wasn't in, he was
Dude, Reinhardt's
and
OP,
Julius
dude.
was never in the show.
I know. Reinhardt's basically a Subaru, except it's not about him.
Yeah, like, but when they showed that scene though, like where Reinhardt comes back, or he comes to the mansion to fight Puck, I was like, damn, dude, like that was such a good ending. That I really wish they kind of showed that a little bit too. But that was more of like after they died already.
Reinhardt's really strong. If you watch the you watch Isekai Gotetsu, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch season 2?
Yeah,
season 1.
Did, like, the
when they did
game,
the dodgeball, dude, Reinhardt's busted. He's stronger than the 3 main characters combined. I mean, obviously he's stronger than the Konosuba characters, but he's stronger than Overlord and he's stronger than Tanya. It's like, dude, because I think what the show doesn't really explain is how packs work. Because if you kind of look at the correlations with packs, is the show actually treats packs very strongly. The only one who doesn't is Subaru. Because the way they keep packs is actually it's like a they tie it with your blood. So like it's like if someone ever forms a pact in the show, it actually means a lot. And then a big one is blessings. Different characters have different blessings, and because you know how who's that guy's name again? The guy with the green hat, the trader guy. Otto, he actually has a blessing, and what it is it's to be able to talk to any living being. Like he could talk to ants, he can talk to birds. So the reason why he was able to find Subaru and he could talk to Subaru's dragon ride is because he can actually talk to animals and with different languages. He can communicate. But the thing is
that what it was? Like that's how he was able to talk to the dragon?
Yeah, that's how he's able to talk to the dragon, and that's how he was able to find Subaru, because he talked to the animals and the plants.
I did not catch that detail, man. Holy shit!
It's what it's called. It's called a blessing. So everyone has a specific blessing, and Reinhardt has the strongest blessing. His blessing is he's just OP.
Because he can use the magic around him or something like that, right? Like
no, that's just magic in general. When you use magic, you absorb magic mana around you.
So he has that and a blessing too. Holy shit!
And his blessing is different. His blessing is just he just can't take any damage. Like it anticipates damage. Like it's not really. It's a little bit spoilery, but not really, because this is because I've read into a lot of the what if stories already.
Oh, okay.
And there is a what if story of him actually getting beaten, and it's by Amelia. And the way Amelia beat him was she unconsciously attacked him. So she fired a spear at him without thinking about it, because Reinhardt's blessing didn't anticipate it. So that's from what we know so far is the only way that Reinhardt ever got damaged. It's by
Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct, because Amelia was actually like he was trying to save Amelia in that moment, and Amelia was like she was being Amelia. She wasn't really evil or anything. She wasn't being malicious, and she was just talking to him. And while they were talking, in the middle of talking, she unconsciously threw a spear at him, and he took damage.
Damn. So he has to pretty much. You have to Ultra Instinct Reinhardt.
Yeah, and then so from what we know from every what if story is that no one can beat Reinhardt. Reinhardt is just he is justice, and he cannot be beaten. His sword is OP, and he cannot take any damage.
Then why don't they just add him to the main storyline more? Then he would.
There's a reason why they don't want to make it a Sora Online.
It's like in Konosuba, where like if Kazuma was with a different group, he'd finish his quest already.
Yeah, that's like the whole point. He's supposed to have a crappy party.
But yeah, man. Overall, man, what did you think of Re:Zero season 2, part 1? Just the first. I mean, it's only just the first half. We still have that second half coming in next year. I think
the animation, you could kind of tell that it wasn't as polished as the first season. The first season was very, very polished, and like, I mean, you can go back and it's not perfect, but I think it's a lot better. I think first season has a lot better animation quality than second season. But you kind of give it a pass, because we know that the anime was created strictly from home. There was no studio,
which was crazy, man. Like when you told me that. And then the fact that they made episodes a little bit longer, I'm like that was I like that a lot too.
I kind of like that. Yeah, they didn't overuse openings and endings. They actually kind of sparingly use opening music and ending music depending on what's happening.
Dude, the opening music for season 2 was
It was dope.
so good, dude.
I think it's even
so
better
good.
because it's even better because they didn't spam it. It wasn't on every episode.
Yeah, but that's pretty much our bit for Ray Zero. I mean, like we can make a whole episode.
That's
of
all.
this.
That's
not even our, it's not even our main topic, man.
Honestly, we can honestly save the final witch arc because there's a lot more to talk about that ending, but we can save a lot of it for the next discussion because the beginning of season 1 or season 2 part 2, it's gonna be a pretty interesting start because I think what we know is he's probably gonna form the contract with Beatrice.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do because, excuse me, there's still Elsa, there's still Roswell, and like he's right back in the middle again. So, I can't wait to see what they have in store, man.
He's been stuck in the same loop for for the past like 10 episodes.
Dude, I know. When I think about it, it's just he's been in the same spot. Like he progressed very little. He's just stuck in the same spot.
This entire season was just one loop. It was one big loop, and there's so much. It's crazy how much you can have happen in one loop. That's crazy when you think about it. Like they put that much effort into into just that being stuck in that one cycle because a lot happened to that one cycle that doesn't end.
Yeah, and there's so many choices that he can make too. That's what makes it so good.
I think to kind of really finalize it though is the reason why Ray Zero is such a good show is because it has a really good foundation. It's a light novel. It's not just manga where they just make them like their Naruto is straight up manga. The artist and the manga artist and the writer they put it together. But whereas Ray Zero is just a writer. It starts off with just a writer, so there's actually a lot more that goes on in the light novel than the manga and in the anime that could ever happen because it's like a chapter. A light novel is basically a book. It's a book. And what people don't really get, the reason why the story, the plot is able to go so deep is because they're not just focused on the anime. The story isn't focused on the anime. It's all about the plot, which is what I think is what makes it really good because they're not solely focused on just pushing out content like think of how most animes are with friggin' One Piece and Naruto.
Yeah, like weekly chapters and stuff like that.
Because the artist, he takes his time with the story. That's the big thing too. They're not pushing it out like they did Naruto, and then they ended it really quick, like Bleach.
Yeah. Oh man, don't even start on Bleach. I just know Bleach is coming back. But to continue on, man. From Ray Zero, there was tons of other anime that played or premiered this year, and I wasn't even able to get to what I wanted to watch. Really, I only watched the ones that I made time for.
Yeah.
Another one was God of High School. I know you dropped that one.
Yeah, I dropped it.
God of High School. The plot was terrible, man. I did not like it. I like the fight scenes, but overall, when I think about it now, like after I digest what I watched, very unimpressed.
Especially when you're watching Ray Zero at the same time, you're like, Ray Zero doesn't even have this much fighting, and it's way more entertaining.
Like the only character I liked was the Fox character.
Yeah,
the guy who did Taekyon, the old school Korean fighting style. And I gotta say though, if it wasn't for God of High School, I would have not gotten back into Taekwondo. So I give them credit for that. But overall, that show was not as good as I thought it'd be. I really wish they just stuck to the tournament aspect of it.
Yeah.
Once they started throwing gods and monsters and mythical creatures in there, I'm like,
the tournaments don't make sense though. They should have called like God of Tournament.
and 12 episodes too. I'm like, dude, like that's so much information to cram. Like it was bad. And then when they made the main character, when they made Jin Mori into the Monkey King, I'm like, okay, I'm done, man. Yeah. I did not. I would have preferred him to just be normal.
From a story aspect, I do find using written lore lazy. Because like reusing Monkey King and using like Zeus and using all the turning them into anime characters. I in my opinion, I find that to be one of the lazier storytelling points. Because for me, that's what I would do. Because it's so much easier to write a story using lore that's already created and just revamping it into your own style.
Yeah, modernizing classic history. Like it's. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine they did that with if they turned Hitler into an anime, like that, like not saying that they should promote it, but still, like the idea of that, that's what it'd be like. Mm-hmm. If they ran out of ideas of historic
Mhm.
characters. They just fucking use Hitler as an anime
But
character.
I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just when you use it, and you have to do it in very, very smart ways. Like, just gonna go back to Ray Zero. You look at how they're using their lore, right? They're using witches, they're using archbishops, and they have layers and layers
Seven
of
deadly sins.
yeah, and they're using different layers of a hierarchy.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, God of High School was very disappointing. I only drew into it because it was a Korean webtoon and it's animated by Mappa, which is the animator for season 4 of Attack on Titan.
The first 2 episodes were pretty good. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Like the intro was pretty good. It was quick and to the point. I mean, obviously, there's also nothing else to watch.
Yeah, well, that was like the first one of the first ones that dropped for the summer anime. There was also the GBA? Remember that one? I dropped
that one real quick. It was bad. It was bad.
And then
COVID anime.
Oh, I know. I think they just dropped that one at a bad time. That one was I can't.
I don't think it mattered when it dropped. It's just it was just bad.
It was bad.
It was just bad.
There was Uzaki-chan. Is that a summer anime?
Yeah, it's summer anime. It's already done. I liked it. It's not. I wouldn't say it's really good. It's a good anime if you're bored. Only reason why I watched it was just because of the controversy.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through. I couldn't pick it up because I don't know. I think the characters was just a bit much. Like Uzaki-chan was like the premise, was the overall character of how all those typical female characters were. And I was just like,
the story was nothing really crazy or new. It's just kind of it's literally what it is. She just wants to hang out.
Yeah. Did you know Funimation picked that up too?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, okay. This is very ironic because this anime had that controversy, right, with how she looks. Monica Rial is going to be her VA.
What?
Yeah, I was like, really? You picked her out of all the female VAs to be Uzaki-chan? I'm like, after what happened to, and I'm just like, dude, the comments were like trashing the hell.
I mean,
out.
I think the last controversy before Uzaki-chan was the I don't think you heard of it. It was the interspecies reviewers. That one was big. It was bad.
Was that the one where he was like interviewing all those creatures and stuff?
It's an anime where a group of guys, they go to different brothels with different species, like old women, elves. There's succubuses, and they're reviewing the brothels. So they're actually reviewing the sex that you get from the anime, and Funimation picked it up. But they dropped it after everyone said that it was bad, and obviously it was it's borderline hentai. Just put it that way. It was borderline. I watched it with me and the guys in our Discord. We watched it, and I think the story and the plot was good. They make a lot of really good points. It's like, would you rather have sex with a 60-year-old woman, right? That's really old, or would you rather have sex with an elf that's 1,000 years old? And from an elf guy's perspective, they would rather have sex with a human woman that's 60-year-old than an elf lady that's 1,000-year-old because she's older.
Oh my god!
Even though the 1,000-year elf girl looks young and hot, she's still 1,000 years old.
The Funimation really? Oh my god! That's the thing too. Right? Funimation was like, I'm so iffy on them. It sucks that they're the only ones in the West here that helps try to dub and support anime. I wish there was more other companies. No,
it's just the issue with a lot of these corporations. It's hard not to bend the knee to people that complain. Like a lot of the social justice warrior stuff, like a lot of we don't like this because this is sexist. But the thing is, it's not even sexist. It's just it's not even it's honest, right? The issue with art, right? How do you separate art from the artist? And when is art when does art become too evil?
Too racy? Yeah.
Too racy. Because the thing is, how can we depict it, right? It's like Goblin Slayer, right? And so anime can't depict rape, right? So what can? So we can't depict it, right? Because in a way, anything should be able to be depicted. And I do think there is a line, but the only line is people not watching it.
So James, thanks for tuning in. He says either one would be fine. Are you talking about the elf or the old lady?
Yeah, either one would be fine. Well, no, but that's from a human perspective.
What's up? Yeah, I don't honestly. I
That's the anime just bringing a lot of really funny truths, and it was more comedy. It wasn't really bad. It was borderline hentai.
Could you imagine though if like Funimation picked up like that Super Sentai one where they're like
Oh man,
that really borderline hentai one, the super like the you know what I'm talking about, those Power Ranger ones
yeah.
that series. Oh man, that one was pretty crazy too.
It's tough.
It's like
I think from a studio or from like a production standpoint, it is very hard not to bend the knee, because a lot of people complaining about this being sexist and racist. But I mean, when you
that's the thing about anime though, man. There's genres for everyone. I was talking about this with one of the guys from last week, Pew's Clothing, man. I was shout out to Brandon. I was telling him, like, dude, anime is for everyone,
it's a
man.
huge genre.
There's a lot to pick from.
You don't have to watch every anime, but it's just that's what I find really difficult. Why I really dislike Crunchyroll sometimes. I dislike Funimation a lot of times because they do a lot of these things that
it's like nitpicky, right?
Yeah, they're nitpicky, and you can't really be nitpicky. It's not really good for the art. It's not good for the genre if you promote one and not the other.
Yeah, anime. I just hope in the future that anime doesn't get tainted.
It does.
How comic books are, but I feel like it's gonna happen.
It's already tainted in a way. I think it all depends on the artists, because you can't do much about the production because they're always going to go for the money, right? But I think what the artists will always there's more differentiation. There's some artists that go for the money too, but a lot of artists focus more on their art than they do the money.
James says there's anything for everyone and watch what you want to watch. Yeah, I honestly agree with that, man. Like, you can't complain about certain animes if you're not watching it.
Yeah.
Okay. A good example is My Hero, right? How Horikoshi kind of tends to please the fans more with more fan service, these type of stuff, versus what he had originally planned. Like the whole Endeavor situation. Like everyone hated Endeavor.
Yeah.
Until like he started writing Endeavor's story more, like, dude, you just gotta wait until he finishes his writing and then see the change. Like everyone was jumping on Endeavor's case, like, oh, he abused his wife, he's mean to Todoroki.
He doesn't deserve a redemption arc.
Yeah, like, and now everyone loves Endeavor, man. Like, man, these fans are crazy, dude. Like, gotta just wait
I would
out.
say My Hero does have one of the most toxic fan bases.
Oh, dude,
it's horrible.
I still don't understand like how that's the case. Like how these animes have crazy fan bases like that, and then it's not even in Japan. Like I feel like it's always in the West.
It's Western ideology. Western ideology is what ruins.
Like I don't know if there's any Japanese fans out there getting mad about Endeavor's.
I think there are. I think Japan does have a lot of a good amount of SJW, or not SJWs, but a lot of people that get triggered easy because it goes back to the Uzaki situation. The reason why Uzaki-chan got that much heat was because of blood donating. Like, so there was a blood. I think American Cross or something. They did a blood donation, and there was a picture of Uzaki-chan just telling people to give a blood donation. And then it was an attempt to get the otakus to come out and give blood. and then there was a lady that got triggered because her boobs are too big, and she took a picture and wrote a rant on it. And then
was it a Japanese lady or was it an American?
It was in Japan. This was in Japan, and so that's when all the heat came in. A lot of the controversy came. So it was actually, it wasn't even the anime. It was just
over a photo.
It was over of American Cross using Uzaki-chan to promote give blood, donate blood. They were promoting to the otakus, not to the people, not to the feminists. They were promoting to the guys that never want to come out and just watch anime.
Oh man, see, like it's so crazy that anime is getting this far. Like with how fast it's going mainstream too, bro. That's why I fear that like anime is gonna get.
It's Western ideology.
It's just gonna get picked apart. Like there's gonna be series that have so much potential and then just get dropped because people will get offended by something like that.
Yeah, no, it's like another big one was a Shield Hero. People gave a Shield Hero a lot of heat because he got framed by a woman for rape, but he didn't do it, and they're like, "But women don't do that." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's possible to happen, but the thing is, they just didn't like the way that they depicted the way he got framed, because they don't think the anime should portray women that way.
Yeah, like see that's the thing too. Like it takes away from the artist's work when people try to nitpick the storyline and try to change things. Again, like Horikoshi is one of the few that I know he does caters to the fans, so he makes changes based on the fan service, and I feel like a lot of artists shouldn't do that, because if you change your art to please a lot of crowds, you take away what you really wanted to share or tell in your story. But overall, man, I like where anime is going still. Like overall, like
it's still good.
I like where it's going because it's so broad for people to watch. Like anyone from anywhere or from any culture or any like orientation or whatever, they can enjoy anime as a whole. Versus like, you know, they're unlike, you know, where comic books are doing, like where they're pushing out new characters just for those groups of people. But anime already has that. So,
rather than having a plethora of genres to pick from.
Yeah, that's what I like the most. But to continue on,
we can go. It's a rant. You can go on forever.
Yeah, to continue on. Was it we? It's all Uzaki's fault. We started this because of Uzaki.
Yeah, you started Uzaki. The next one. Well, it started with God High's going to Uzaki, and then the next one was Jujutsu.
Oh, you want to talk about Juju next? Okay, we could talk.
Well,
about
I guess we were still in. That was summer, or we're in spring right now, right? Or no, we're in summer right now.
Summer anime.
So we were talking about spring anime before.
Okay, so yeah, we can jump into Jujutsu Kaisen because, you know, like on our title here, we're not getting to that anime yet, so that's our main topic.
Yeah,
but Jujutsu Kaisen, man, that one came out a few weeks ago. That one's pretty hot right now too. The animation's clean. I was talking to you before we went live. I'm almost done. Excuse me, with the most recent episode. Overall, from what I've seen so far, I like what I'm watching. I really like the artwork. I like the storyline. I like the whole ghouls, ghost, magic items. And stuff like that. It's like a mix of, I guess you could say it's like a mix of Fairy Tail and Bleach a little bit. It's a bit more like Mob Psycho. It's like a dark. Oh yeah. I like that whole aspect of it, like the whole shamanism kind of thing. But I really took a while. Honestly, it took me a while to kind of just break through, because, like, you know, when I start new animes, I hate watching the first episode because you don't know if it's gonna be good or if it's gonna, you know, suck.
I also kept telling you to watch it.
But the first episode was really good. I was really surprised that the animation was like that for a first episode too.
It was a slow beginning, and then when they got to the action, it was clean.
Yeah. So what do you think of it so far? I mean, from what you've seen?
It's iffy still, but I like it overall. Because my issue with it is just I'm afraid it's gonna pull a Fire Force. What Fire Force was, Fire Force had a really good first few episodes, but then it became just standard anime where there's no plot. It just became kind of like in the middle of Mandalorian, where they just there's something happens in the story, but they're not progressing the main plot. From what I've seen from now, they haven't done that. I think the plot's moving on pretty good, and the fight scenes are good, and that last episode was pretty crazy with the main character just getting his heart ripped out, and he actually dies, but he's not dead. I think overall it's interesting so far. It's still it could turn bad, but I like so far what's out right now is really good. I think
I don't want to jinx myself either. I don't want to, because that's how I was with Fire Force. Like, I was really invested into it, and then I just hated it. So I don't want to do that. With
the first few episodes are good for ours. It's just it became a boring anime.
Yeah, but overall though, I like what they have so far. I can't judge it too much, man, because it's only
we gotta wait until the first season's over. I think the final verdict usually comes when you finish the anime, because you can easily dislike the first few, or I don't know. I feel like the first episode does also make a big difference. It just has to be good overall.
Yeah, first episodes tend to leave the biggest impressions, at least for me, until
they have to. Yeah,
until they drop episode 19 of Demon Slayer or something.
Yeah, until they have that peak moment, the climax. They have to have a good climax moment.
Honestly, I like the characters though. I mean, they're kind of typical Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi kind of thing.
Yeah, TT, they have the Team 7.
Yeah, you can see where they have that going. But I do like how the main character is having that inner battle, like his humanity battle with the main villain, the demon Sukuna. Like it's only 6 episodes in. I don't even have these characters memorized.
Yeah. Well,
So,
they haven't explained anything either.
But I like that internal battle between him and the demon, and how they set it up so far is like the main character is pretty much bound to die. Supposedly.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that premise, and so far the characters are pretty cool. So far, the fact that they have a talking panda named Panda in there.
Yeah, they just introduced them.
Yeah, they just introduced. I thought that was pretty funny that they.
Dude, that ending theme song though, I'm digging it. I really like the ending theme song with the dancing too. That's pretty lit.
Yeah, it's like they incorporated a lot of like Western culture in that, like with rap, hip hop.
I felt like it was more Korean,
or K-pop. Yeah, like and like urban street clothing, kind of like that. It's kind of like those anime TikTok kind of stuff. That's what it feels like. It's very modern. So I thought that was really cool that they that anime as as a pop culture, as they're adapting to the music scene and stuff like that, and clothing style and stuff like that.
Because it was very rap heavy too, which is really cool.
Yeah, and you can see like a lot of artists here, how they draw like anime characters like in hip hop clothing or like hype beast clothing, wearing Supreme, stuff like that. So I think that kind of culture is kind of blending in more with modern day anime. How they do that too, so like they can draw in a bigger fan base.
Because if you really do blend a lot of the anime music, they all are very. I mean, they kind of went from like rock to more Vocaloid. And they kind of mix between Vocaloid and rock, right? They've always had the electric and the hype music, but the thing is, switching to like rap and hip hop, I think that's a really good one too that they could work on.
I think it really just depends on the anime that they're using. Like you can't use Attack on Titan with hip hop.
That's true. Well, even with Cowboy Bebop, the opening was pretty lit. It's just straight up, it's a jazz, super jazzy. So I guess I don't know.
It really depends on the anime. Like
it does.
That would be pretty funny though, right? If they did Attack on Titan with hip hop or like jazz music. But speaking on Attack on Titan, man, winter anime.
Oh my goodness!
For now to 2021.
After that last season, though, oh my god, it's a new company too.
Yeah, MAPPA, the same ones that animated God of High School season 4. Attack on Titan's dropping December 7th this year. Supposedly, it's I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly they're dropping it the same day as Japan's dropping it.
Okay.
So I think obviously time difference is going to be a thing, but hopefully that's true. But this is the season finale, man. What's your thoughts on that? It's the last season.
It's going to have to be like 40, 50 episodes. Because there's so much that happens. I mean, obviously there's the time skip, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot that happens during that because of the finale, because it's the manga over, right? It's not even over yet.
Manga's not even over yet. I'm assuming the manga is going to end within 5 or 6 chapters. I hope not, but I think that's what they're shooting for, because from where I'm not going to spoil anything, but where they're at right now, they're pretty much near the end.
It could end any moment, basically.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how the writer's going to do it.
I think Attack on Titan is just one of those interesting titles because it's the one where the anime is actually better than the manga.
Yeah.
Because you look at the art and the writing. Because generally, if you do read a lot of manga, you realize a lot of the manga are actually drawn a lot better than the anime are. Because Ray Zero, if you read the manga, dude, it's a lot more clean than the anime. Like the characters and everything look more crisp and better than they do in the anime for Ray Zero. That's another one that
Naruto's pretty good.
Rent a Girlfriend. The manga drawings are so much better than the actual anime, even though the anime is pretty good. But the drawings that they have for Rent a Girlfriend are insanely clean.
Yeah, I've been rereading some of that too, and like the artwork is really good. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to Girlfriend.
But Attack on Titan, dude, like honestly, I don't have a lot of folks that I can speak with about Attack on Titan for the manga, but the anime though, I'm very excited to see where they're going to be at because if you've seen the trailer, they do show the Warhammer Titan, which is the last transforming Titan that's of the 9. They show a time skip, so they're going to be somewhere else instead of the actual where Eren and them are from. And
they
then
showed Levi surrounded by all the Titans too.
in the forest. Yep,
Bro.
that's gonna be a crazy ass scene. Where that part in the manga that was pretty crazy. Excuse me. Oh my god. And then Mikasa's new look. Did you like that with the short hair?
Yeah, I mean, she's high either way. Except she got that 6-pack though. Oh my goodness,
she's ripped. But yeah, man, I'm excited. The moment I started hearing like Hiroyuki Sanada, I think that's his last name, the composer, like dude, his music's phenomenal for Attack on Titan.
It is so good. It's like, bro, I can't get enough of the theme song that plays during Reinhardt's betrayal when they were on the top of the wall. And when the Eren, they all when they reveal
Colossal Titan,
dude, that music for that scene was fire, bro. Like it was so good.
Yeah, it built up the emotions too, which made it so much better. And then the actors do so well. I mean, Yuki Kaji is so good as Eren, man. Like that guy's effort to play that character who's so angry. It's so good.
That's why they had to kill him off in the first season because it was too much work.
I find it funny too because like a lot of these actors that are in Attack on Titan are also in My Hero Academia too. So like,
well, that's how it is with a lot of the. I think with the voice acting, dude, even with Genshin Impact, I was looking at all of the voice actors and looking for all the Japanese voice actors. Freaking Kaya, his voice actor in Japanese is Kiba from Naruto.
I think Limon was saying that Nezuko was actually one of the voice actors.
Yeah, I forgot which one though. It was one of them. It was one of them. I forgot.
Yeah, but dude, Attack on Titan is gonna be epic. And I'm so glad that we're getting that for the end of 2020. So hopefully nothing too bad happens.
It's gonna be epic, but it could be bad too. I'm just after seeing God of High School, I've lost a little bit of hope, but
with like their fight styles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and because the thing is, the reason why I love Attack on Titan 2 is the production quality is so good. It was worth waiting the 5+ years for season 2.
Yeah, and it was only half a season.
I know, it was only half a season.
5+ years for 12 episodes, man. Oh my god!
But the animation quality, it is very high. Like I don't know why people don't praise it enough because that was season 1 Attack on Titan was during the Naruto, during the Shonen era, and the Shonen era was, in my opinion, is horrible. What makes the Shonen, in my opinion, what I hate about Shonen is that it's 4 minutes of ending opening, 10 minutes of recap, and 10 minutes of actual story,
and another 4 minutes of ending.
Yeah.
That's it's Attack on Titan broke the mode for a lot of quote unquote shonen genre. I don't consider it shonen though. I hate how it is considered shonen, but
it's not.
I don't think it is, man.
It isn't shonen. I mean, Eren Yeager, his character alone, you could, but you could and you can't.
Like, okay, for me, I say that because even in the manga, like, he's not a shonen character, man. Mm-mm. That dude is wild as hell.
And he dies right away.
So, yeah, that's happening. And then, to pick up for winter anime, The Promised Neverland Season 2.
Yep.
It's dropping the first week. I'm so excited for that. I know the manga ended for it. I'm so tempted to read it. Because like I'm rereading the manga for The Promised Neverland. I'm at the part where they met sister, the black sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they met her. But because like from what I've read was like The Promised Neverland had details in there that was not even in the anime. That's why I'm rereading the manga.
Yeah. That's what happens with a lot of with mangas and animes. They do always it's really hard for them to put in it's actually impossible for them to put in every detail.
Yeah, See, that's the thing too, man. That's what kills me because I really wish that if there's like certain key details in the manga or anime that they have, I wish they kind of like incorporate that together. But the Promised Neverland's dropping. I'm excited for that. The manga series has already ended. Excuse me. I know a little bit of what happened, but I won't say it. But overall, I'm just excited for it because that anime took me by surprise when it first dropped. It had like the Attack on Titan, Death Note kind of feel to it, just chess game, and the fact that it's kids running away from monsters. Man, that took that into a whole new level of like running away from monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm keep telling you, man. If you like that chess aspect, you need to get up on that Code Geass.
Yeah, you were telling me to watch that one too.
I'm telling you,
I have that on my playlist for VRV right now. But
you need to watch Code Geass. I'm telling you right now. Everybody, tell this guy to watch Code Geass. It's so good.
What else is there? My Hero Academia. That's spring 2021.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's not much to say yet because I mean, if we talk about season 4, dude, season 4 was pretty fire, literally, because of MJ.
Yeah, that dude. Okay. Now that since we're talking about that, I really thought that was going to be the opening for season 5.
Yeah,
I was not expecting him to be the ending for season
I thought it was going to end with the high school, the high school play arc.
Okay.
The festival. Yeah, it would have been it would have been a weak ending. I mean, kind of a weak ending, but I mean, I like the high school play arc too. It's because if you read a lot of slice of life animes too, it's kind of a refresher too. Because having Deku constantly battling is just like. It can get kind of tiring because if you think about it, he joins the school. The school gets attacked by assassins on their training. Then they go to training in the forest to get attacked by the villains.
Every time he's with the school, he gets attacked. Like maybe it's not us, maybe it's the school that's the problem.
But it is because we have a bowl.
Do you think that's real? Because even Horikoshi thought he forgot about that idea.
I mean. I don't know anymore then.
Because in
the manga, they kind of confirmed it a little bit then. They haven't talked about it in a while.
He confirmed that he forgot about the idea. I don't know if that's an actual idea.
Maybe he just saved it for. You could probably just save it for later.
I don't know if there is a mole though. I read someone's comment on YouTube where they said that it was Kirishima, and I'm like, damn, that.
Yeah, I heard that too.
They made a pretty good point with his character. I'm like, dude, because he's all about being manly and good and prideful and helping, and he turns out he's the villain. Holy shit!
It could be. If I thought it was a villain, I thought it was that gem guy or the guy that shoots lasers out of his belly.
Aoyama.
Yeah, but then when after they kind of reveal more of his characters, like, no, this guy's a little bitch.
I thought it was him too, though. When he was creeping on Deku's window,
it felt
him for a minute.
It felt like he was pretty sus. But when they got to his arc and the license one, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this guy,
not clever enough to be.
Yeah.
A lot of people suspect Hagakure, the invisible girl. A lot of
could be. I mean, I think at this point, it's whatever Horikoshi decides for it to be.
Turns out there's never a mole the whole time. But you've seen the trailer for season 5 though, right?
I haven't seen it yet.
No. Oh, okay. So that I can't talk too much about it. Then I'll wait till you watch it.
Okay.
But season 5, the trailer already dropped.
Maybe for the next podcast. We got a lot of time until we could
dude. Once like the winter stuff ends, we'll link back up again. But let's get to this main topic, man. We're about an hour 7 minutes in so far, so let's get to this main topic, man. I did not realize like all this other talk would get to take this long.
No, there's just so much anime to talk about, my guy.
If you like podcasts like me and want to start your own, use Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a very effective and easy way to begin your podcasting journey. With easy-to-use tools, Buzzsprout can help you get your podcast to major podcasting platforms like Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can view stats, create audio clips, and even have your own podcasting website. Buzzsprout has helped hundreds of thousands of people to begin their own podcasts like myself, and you can find ideas, tips, tricks, video tutorials to better your own podcast. Follow the link in the description to start your own podcast today, and once you sign up, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card. This lets Buzzsprout know that I sent you, and this also helps support Spoiler First Podcast. Happy podcasting. Do you struggle with eating junk food and late night snacking? Well, I've been using FNX Sports Rebalance Super Greens, and I've been able to control my eating habits, get my daily vitamins, fiber, and loose fat around my stomach area. The Rebalance Super Greens comes in multiple flavors and is easy to use by just mixing the supplement in water. You can drink this anytime during the day and feel energized without any groggy after effects. Use the code SPOILERFORCE, all one word, SPOILERFORCE, and get 15% off your very first order. Rent a Girlfriend, Season 1, the main topic for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
First off, is Mami still your choice out of the 4?
I'm a Mami simp. Mami simp for days. But I am getting more into the main girl. She's not bad because then they're giving her a lot more time, and she clearly likes him. After that, at the end of the season 1, she does. I think she does have feelings to him for sure. She's just kind of like kind of a tsundere.
I keep saying Kazuma, but when Kazuya, when Kazuya says like, you know, I want to choose you, and then she got thrown off guard, and then he had to fuck up like for like, you fucker. But yeah, I can see why you choose Mami too. I mean, like she's very definitive with her answers and with her choices, and she doesn't at least from what I see, she doesn't look back at what she does.
They just over exaggerate her or her evilness.
Side, yeah. Mizuhara is definitely. I can see why people choose Mizuhara.
Mizuhara's too good for him.
That's true. But she's like the perfect girl next door though, because like, I mean, not just being voiced by Aqua too. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But out of the 4, man, I was picking Ruka for a while until I saw the Sumi-chan episode, and I was like, "Yep,
Sumi-chan is."
I'm picking Sumi, man. Like she
must protect.
Yeah, you gotta protect her, man. Like I love that they made her really awkward when she meets Kazuya the first time. Not too big. I'm not a big fan of the whole introverted kind of character.
Yeah,
but I liked what they did with her, like how she was willing to.
I think it's more of a growth. She has a character with a lot of growth.
Yeah, like she was willing to work with Kazuya, and she saw the effort that he was putting in to their date. So I like that, and then I thought a lot of folks are gonna call me whatever, but I really thought that the scenes that she had was really cute. Like she was putting so much effort into being a good rental girlfriend for Kazuya. So I really thought that was a cute scene that they had, and then especially the part where she goes to Kazuya and she when she says like see ya Kazuya, like that, and he's like
that was so cute. He's got that ugly deep left.
Yeah. But I like her. Sumi-chan is probably my favorite out of the 4. But Rent a Girlfriend overall, I was not expecting to like this anime, dude. Like, for the listeners who don't know or anyone who's watching, I bought the first volume manga at Liberty Comics. Shout out to Gail and Chuck and all those guys there. I bought the volume there. I saw it in a magazine book, and I put it in my pull order. I read it before the first episode dropped, so I was really hooked onto it right away.
The manga's good
from the manga, and then when the anime popped up, I'm like, holy shit, I'm hooked. Okay, out of all the anime I've seen this year, Rent a Girlfriend was the only one that made me excited for Friday. Because like I was like, yes, new episode. Like I was legit giddy to watch the show.
Life animes and mangas they do have a very appealing side to them. Because the thing about like Dragon Ball Z and fighting animes and Blood and Guts, they're good and all, but at the same time, it is very refreshing to see a good slice of life anime where you're not worried about demonic powers.
I feel like I've gotten soft watching this stuff.
Oh my!
Just like,
no, that's how it is though. If you watch slice of life animes, you feel like you shouldn't be watching.
I feel like I got soft, man. Because I'm like, dude, I'm really excited to watch Rent a Girlfriend over like Jujutsu Kaisen or like the stuff that's premiering. I'm just like, damn, like my taste has changed for anime. But I think that's a good refreshing thing. Like you said, it's good to watch and test out new genres, man. Like I know a lot of, especially Wong folk, love the shonen, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball,
the fighting and
guts and stuff like that. But for anyone who's listening, there's a reason why this anime is the main topic was because you got to give this one a chance. Like it legit is good. It's not just some typical harem anime or like
it's a good evolution of the slice of life genre because the slice of life genre has gotten a really bad rep, mostly because they always have the Japanese tropes, right, with like the bloody nose, Sanji from One Piece. There's like just like hentai in general, it has gotten a really bad rep. But you look at slice of life, it's not even anywhere near it. It's actually its own evolved genre where like you look at like Your Lie in April is a really good show. Like,
that one was really good. I didn't get emotional watching it, but I know some people who did.
Oh, I did. I cried like a bitch. Like there's like 3 different moments I cried.
But I gotta say though, even when I rewatch it though, it's still there. Those feelings of like even when you know what happens at the end. Your Lie in April was definitely one that was like.
I think it's worse the second one because you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it definitely still pulls heartstrings for sure. Like that anime was like, damn, like you got invested into these characters.
You look at the storytelling, it's very deep. They rather than focusing on fighting, like it would have been cool if they focused more on the piano learning aspect. But the reason why they didn't do that was because it was more focused on his past and his ties to his mom. That and just him fighting with death, right? People dying around him. That was literally his battle. It was more about the inner battle rather than about fighting the world.
Yeah, but I mean that animation was top notch too, man. Like
dude,
it was so good.
Well, it's crazy how you don't have to have top notch animes only in fighting animes. Dude, you can have really good animes with people just sitting there talking.
And that's what Rent a Girlfriend brings, though. I mean, Rent a Girlfriend has really good anime or animation for this anime because it's literally just college kids living life. And the animation's really good. And like you said, man, like you don't need to have something flashy to make it look good. And then Rent a Girlfriend, as simple as the idea is, I really like the fact that it's still dramatic, but it's not overly dramatic. It's still anime lore or anime genre. So it still has like those cartoony moments, those goofy moments. Even that, I just overall, man, I love the story so far.
I mean, the nice thing about slice of life is that whereas you look at shonen, so you can tell when there's plot and when there isn't plot. But with slice of life, everything is pretty much literally plot.
Yeah, everything's plot. You have there is like there shouldn't be. There's very little to few like moments of like filler. Like when you find out Mizuhara is an actress or trying to be an actress, that could be like a little bit of filler, but it's still progressing the plot because like you see Kazuya's feelings towards her, how he's like very low key jealous when she's on what he thought was a date. Yeah, and I like the story because like I guess it kind of hits home a little bit because like we're not exactly their age, but like we've kind of experienced that part of life at least a little bit, just.
Well, it's because Kazuya is a degenerate, and I can relate to that. Dude, like it would turn off a lot of people, but the thing is, that's how a lot of guys are.
That's a lot. That's a big like sad truth because I hate that idea too. I hate the introverted, nerdy, self-closeted main protagonist. I hate that. But then like it's really true. Like a lot of dudes are like that though. Like it's. Well, I don't know.
Even if you're not, you can still relate to it because guys that do are like that. I've been like that.
I was kind of like that, but I hate the idea of it. I hate
the reason why the porn industry is so big.
True, but the reason why I hate that idea because I don't like the fact that it seems like they're promoting guys to be like that.
Yeah,
it kind of ruins a lot of like introverted men's like how they're viewed. That's why I don't really like that idea that those are the protagonists in those kind of stories. But it in the sense it is relatable though. I mean like at the end, but Kazuya is such a dick too.
He's a degenerate and he makes some really bad decisions.
Okay, so you said you like Mami out of the 4. Now, what's your ideas on the whole rental relationship thing, though? I mean, Japan, apparently this is a thing in Japan. I didn't study any of this, so whatever I say may not be exactly true. But what's your thoughts on that? Like how they're renting out like relationships?
I think it's cool. Would I do it? Probably not, just because I probably couldn't afford it. But if I could afford it, if money was an issue, I'd do it for fun.
But it's weird too because like escorting is low key like that.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
because like you could take out an escort on a date or something like that, but they won't charge you as much. But then there's still like, I mean, with an escort though, you can still have like a physical like physical interaction with them versus like a rental girlfriend. You can't do that. Like from based on what the anime shown, based on how Japan does. You're paying for their time.
Japan's very different though. The reason why there is because of the culture around Japan. There's like that the YouTube that with Conan you showed me with the Rent a Family.
That was pretty good.
But the thing is, you have to look at the culture in Japan. It's Japan; they're having issues with marriage. Like they don't have they have one of the lower birth rates in the world. It's because of anime, because of otakus. Men aren't interested in real women anymore in Japan. They're interested in anime girls, which is
and robots. Oh my god!
Yeah, robots and friggin' Vocaloid AIs, and getting married to a freaking anime character. You can actually do that in Japan. You can get legally married to a virtual rem.
And that's I want to say that's pathetic, but I pity them. Like that. I don't know, man. Like and you know that kind of culture is slowly coming over here in the States.
It is.
The guys are doing that.
It makes sense though. You look at the culture, you look at how a culture's evolving. You know the way dating is working nowadays. Some guys just don't want to date. It's too much work, and it's just when it comes. And also, you look at introverts. Introverts do exist. There's people that don't like interacting. Like even me, I have a pretty big introverted side to me too. When I hang out with friends, it just feels like a chore. I could just be at home playing games, watching.
I don't know, man. Like to go back into the whole rental girlfriend thing. I think for me, would I try it? Yeah, why not? Like, why not try it, right? But then, to the extent of like where you're spending money like that, and then even like for me, if I'm spending money like that, I'm expecting like physical interaction. Like I'm not gonna play around. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's the truth. I'm not gonna take a rental girlfriend out on a date and spend hundreds of dollars just to pretend for you to be my girlfriend for like a day or two and not expect anything. I honestly would expect something, but I'm not a prick, so I'm not going to tell them that. Mm-hmm. But I'm probably going to get canceled for saying that. but I mean, like in the West here, like in America, that's what it practically is. It's an escort system where you pay the girl and you can choose whether to do that or not. Just that depends on your rates. But in Japan, they don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do have something like that. Yeah. But for the whole aspect of this main topic, as a renter girlfriend, you're paying them just to pretend to be your girlfriend. Yeah. So I don't know if I would want to do that. Like, but if I got like a coupon, like here, try your 1-day trial. Like, I would definitely try it out.
I think it's more of a luxury. I don't think it's something that every community or everywhere it should be everywhere. But like, it's not necessary, right? I think from a realistic standpoint, a rent-a-girlfriend is not something that is needed, but it's more of a luxury if you can, because it's so expensive. Like you look at the pricing, but you look at how much they should price, right? You look at how much it's actually like it should cost, right? In a way, it could be free or it costs a lot of money. If it's free, then you should get your own girlfriend. But if it were that easy.
But yeah, it's a very sensitive topic too, because like I think I don't even know if is that only normalized in Japan? I don't even know if that service is like normalized.
It's more normalized in Japan, but it's normalized in Japan, and I think it's also pretty normalized in the internet, because there are a lot of like if you go to Fiverr, you can actually hire a girlfriend to play video games with you.
No idea.
Yeah, you can do that. You can go on Fiverr and you can hire because then Fiverr is a really good place for like an artist. Like if you want to like do drawings for people, or if you have like if you're an artist, right, and you want like it's like for the whole video game thing. Like if you want to be a video game designer or you want to design things for people, you go on Fiverr and then you then you put out your credentials and people hire you. And there are a lot of really funny ones. Like you can hire a girl to play games with you to pretend to be your girlfriend in a video game. You can hire a guy to carry you it's like coaching. You can hire a guy to teach you how to play a game. You can hire a guy to carry you in a game.
Holy shit! I had no idea this was a thing. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
So in a way, renting a girlfriend is just like the realistic aspect. But when you look at the internet, it's actually pretty normal.
Yeah, it's I don't know if like the thing for me is like with this anime, man. Like again, it's it's a good story, but the whole concept of it, like
the title will probably scare away a lot of people.
Yeah, like it seems like it's a big joke. I mean, again, with rental services, it's something that is not normalized in the States here, especially for that, renting a girlfriend or a family member. But I think that in some way, shape, or form, it is in a way helpful, though. I mean, if there's people who are out there that are really lonely like that, I think renting someone to at least bring some sort of human presence to you is good. It's psychologically, I think in a way it is somewhat okay, but it's like almost like a drug, right? You don't want to keep doing that, and you're going to depend on that.
It's more or less the premise. A lot of people just want to accept the girlfriend part, but if it was like counseling, then yeah, people are okay with that. But I think there's just a line that people aren't willing to cross, because it's more attuned to prostitution, I guess.
Yeah, the fucked up part is like it's mostly dudes that are going to be doing it.
Yeah,
they're going to be guys. It's the honest truth, man. Like guys are more likely to do something like that versus like a woman renting out a boyfriend or shit, even a female girlfriend. But like, just the anime overall, man. It was definitely very, very refreshing to watch something like this because it was. For me, at least, it was completely new.
Oh, and the production quality. I mean, I think we're in the point in anime, the anime lifespan, where we can actually judge an anime based off of its production quality now.
Yeah,
where it's like it's easy for me because if you like, because when I rate animes, I don't rate animes solely on the story. I rate them on their production quality too. Like Naruto has went down a lot because because you realize how bad the animation as a whole, the whole anime is horrible. They have some really good scenes, like they only put effort into the final battle, but you look at all the filler between. It's like
very goofy.
You go back and rewatch it's not good.
Yeah, but I think with Rent a Girlfriend, they have like consistent animation.
That's why this new generation of anime is so good now. I think it started with it didn't start, but like a good point is like My Hero Academia. Like you look at that anime and how consistent it is. Then you look at a lot of animes we're getting now, because a lot of the animes that were like that were the ones that were hand drawn, like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. Those animes were hand drawn, so they look very clean. But the thing is, then we got Shonen's bad. But you look at Rent a Girlfriend. It's within that animation production quality that's actually consistent, and the filler isn't just filler.
Yeah, I think that's what makes a lot of the more modern anime great too, because like when you got studios with consistent artists, consistent animators, it doesn't draw away or take away from the series visually. Like like comic books, man. Like artists, they're always switching artists. They'll have like one artist do like a 2-issue arc, another artist do like a 5-issue arc, depending on what it is. So I think I kind of wish that was like that for comic books too, having more consistent artists. But
that's why I hate DC Comics sometimes, because it's confusing. If you stop reading it once in a while, you come back to it. It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
But with anime and manga, there's always the one consistent artist or writer. So I like that aspect a lot. And I think with Rent a Girlfriend, I think they've done a great job utilizing that too. For just one season though, for 12 episodes, it was not as bad as I thought it'd be. They covered a lot in that season. I felt like they ended it off with a pretty good finale. Nothing too crazy. I'm definitely excited for what they have in store for season 2. I don't know when they're dropping it, but I am excited for it.
I couldn't wait, man. That's why I got caught up on the manga.
I'm gonna maybe when I'm on like my Christmas break at work or something.
Manga is good, man. It is so good. It's like I'm telling you, like, which is why I can say, like, the comparing, like, as good as the animation and the production quality of Girlfriend for Girlfriend is, dude. The manga artist, the manga itself is so good. Like, the character drawings, there's like a huge difference. There's a huge difference in how Kazuya and Mizuhara they look. They look different, kind of different in the drawings compared to what they looked like in the anime.
Yeah, so that's definitely something folks should definitely look forward to if you're not into watching anime but like to read manga. But yeah, I don't know if you said it already, but last minute overall thoughts on the anime, at least from what you've seen. I know you caught up on the manga, but when you watched it, what were your overall thoughts on it?
I really liked it, and I do like it when animes don't end on a huge cliffhanger. And I think it didn't do that too much. I mean, obviously, you still want more. I think it did a good job. It did a good job of leaving you wanting more, but it ended at a really good spot. I mean, it's really hard to say. If anything, I probably the music the anime music quality was okay. I felt like they could have done a better job, but I feel like it's really hard to do that with this type of anime. But
I like the opening by Peggy's.
Opening ending was good. But the music they used in between,
like the OST.
I don't want to say overused, but they could have done better with the OST.
You feel like it was recycled, kind of.
Kind of recycled, but just the music itself, it could have been better. But it's hard for me to say that too, just because to make music for this kind of like genre, because it's weird. It's a weird anime when it comes to genre wise, because it's romance, but it's also a little bit goofy. But it's a harem, and
right, it's not a lot going on for this anime, like to make the music very exciting or
over dramatic, right? Because even overly dramatic anime, yeah, dude, you can make it some dramatic music, like Your Lie in April, because Your Lie in April, that anime is dramatic. It is so.
That anime was centered around music too, so they could have done a lot.
It was centered around classical music, which is what carried it at the show a lot.
Yeah, but with Run Your Girlfriend though, it's very just modern young adults, so they had to just stick to what they could use.
Like the animation wasn't. I thought the animation was good, but I think for me, the reason why it's good is not because it's like an evolution, but it's more of it's really good at making its own style. It's literally its own style of animation. You're not really gonna see anything else like it. I would give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10 for the first season. Pretty good. I wouldn't give it like a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. It's really hard for me to give Slice of Life a super high score. I mean, I can kind of simp for Real Life Neighbor because I cried like a little girl, but
oh, go ahead.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
I'm pretty biased with Run Your Girlfriend. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 because I think for me at least it caught me off guard just based on the story. I mean, there's so much we could break down, but you're already far ahead, so you already know what happens. But yeah, man, like, okay, so since you are ahead, what can you say without spoiling? What can we expect for season 2, at least from what you read?
More or less the same.
Or interaction between the characters.
Yeah,
because like I think if anything out of the story, I'm really more invested in what's going to happen between Ruka and Kazuya.
Things do get more spicier.
It's like I want to see, like I can't wait to see, unless I get to it in the manga. I really want to see like how he's going to handle that, because technically that's his girlfriend at this point of the show, but he doesn't really reciprocate those feelings towards her.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be the plot. That's basically the plot for a while. What you're probably going to have to expect is mostly the family. The biggest plot will be the family drama with him explaining his family, what's going on. It's going to be more story with Mizuhara's family. Yeah. I think Mizuhara's family is a big one. It's supposed mostly the Mizuhara. Obviously, Mizuhara and Kazuya are the main. I mean,
Focus.
obviously, they're gonna probably end. They're probably gonna end up together, because the show does give them a lot of time. I mean, without spoiling it, I just tell you that it's mostly gonna be mostly gonna be Mizuhara versus Sumi. Not Sumi. Ruka.
Okay, that's a good way to kind of tease it. But what about Sumi though? Since you were brought up Sumi, is she at least still like focused in the manga? Is she still like a main character? Or is she just a side bitch?
She's more of a side. So don't get your hopes up for Sumi. I'm just saying. I mean, a spoiler.
Oh, man, I look, not to degrade her by any derogatory means, but like, I just hate that they do that to that character. Like they tease you with a character like that and don't use her. You know, so like that pisses me off.
It's kind of sad because then they put her and Mami on the front with the 4 girls. But I will say you that Sumi is gonna stay. I mean, we're not. I mean, the manga's not even over yet. But I'll just tell you that for season 2, don't expect Sumi.
Damn, I'm not gonna watch it. No, I'm kidding. I'm still gonna watch it. But yeah, Sumi is
she's more of a supporting character.
Yeah, she's definitely my bias in the show. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the main topic, man. Like, not right. An hour and a half.
Yeah, you did put in Demon Slayer in the movie, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Demon Slayer. We were going to talk about that a little bit, but
did you watch it already?
Not the movie. I just wanted to talk about like how they made $1 billion.
Oh, they made a lot more money than like the One Piece movies and
My Hero.
But my issue with people saying that it's made a lot of money is it's like there's not much competition to begin with.
The fact that the movie made so much money and then the folks went back to buy the back volumes again. Mm-hmm. So the volume charts shot up because of the movie. And then Lisa dropped that song too, Homura. So that was shot up to Demon Slayer. Folks who are listening or watching, you can't get mad at Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is not overhyped. It is the shit right now. Like Demon Slayer is that anime right now.
Another shonen, but like it's good.
It is that anime right now. It is the Dragon Ball Z of its time right now.
No, I wouldn't even say Dragon Ball Z that good.
I think so. The Demon Slayer.
I go back to Dragon Ball Z and I hate Dragon Ball Z so much.
Well, at least
in comparison, there's a funny ass meme right now with Trump versus Biden. There's a picture of
the Gohan versus Cell. Is that
it's the Frieza versus Goku.
The 5 minutes.
How long is this fight gonna last? Goku versus Frieza.
Oh man, dude. Don't even get me started on those memes. Did you see the Kanye one where he's like he just as Kiba? He's like he got like 1%. Like
I want to be on.
Oh my god,
hilarious,
dude!
Oh my god.
Oh man, that well, at least we ended this on the good note, like comedic wise. Dude, like I don't care for politics. Honestly, I can say this in the podcast. I don't give a fuck about politics right now.
I literally don't use Facebook for more than like a minute a day now. I actually uninstalled off my phone. That's why you can only catch me once in a while when I'm at home on my on Facebook, because I open a Facebook just in case someone messages me,
which is mostly me.
Yeah, most of you. My timeline is all politics right now, and I don't care.
But yeah, man. Thanks for doing this, Moang, man. Like I really appreciate that you made time to jump on again. I can't wait till like the next anime sessions, like we're gonna get more animes and stuff. Hopefully we get Rent a Girlfriend season 2. Hopefully to anyone who's watching or listening, you guys enjoyed our talks. I know we didn't exactly break down these animes, episode by episode and stuff like that. We're just giving our overall thoughts in this review. Like it's not an exact breakdown, but if you guys would like to see us break down this stuff, let us know in the comments, or you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com or message me on Facebook or Instagram. Links are all in the description. Make sure you check out Moang's content too. I have Moang's links to the video games that he's made. Personally, himself and his team. So check those games out. They're just demos, but they're free. Download it. Let him know what you guys think of those games too. What else? You can watch this episode on Facebook once I'm done with this, or you can wait for it to be edited and uploaded on YouTube, which won't be any much different. I'm just going to chop up the beginning and ending a little bit, but you can also listen to this on audio on Sunday on all social media, not social media, but all podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, anything that's related to the podcast. It's most likely going to be there. But yeah, Moang, thank you again. Do you have any closing words at all, or?
No, I'm just excited for anime, and let's see. That's about it. Just other than Genshin Impact, we didn't really talk about that, but which is fine.
Yeah, we could talk about that on another time. But yeah, dude, I can't say it enough, man. Thank you for jumping on, dude, and for anyone who's listening, thank you guys for tuning in, even if it was for a few minutes or so. Thank you to anyone who's engaged and shared and stuff like that. Hopefully, you guys have a good weekend. Again, you guys can wait for the stuff on Sunday too. That'll be dropping, and then I should also be dropping the Halloween live podcast sometime soon. I haven't been working on that yet either. I was supposed to do it earlier this week, but I just got lazy. But yeah, that'll be up soon too. And stay tuned. I can do this too. Whoever's still watching or listening, since this is live, next week's guest will be the episode will be live around like 1 a.m. Eastern because he's all the way in California. I will be having DC Reacts back on the podcast for the second time. This is just perfect timing because DC Reacts is doing his rap contest. If you don't know who DC Reacts is, he's a pretty big Hmong content creator at the moment. He's hot right now with his reviews and promoting Hmong artists out there, which I really like that he's doing. And he was one of the first guests I had on the podcast too, and I think it's great that to see his growth as a content creator. So if you guys want to see us talk live, it'll be next Saturday or next Friday, or technically Saturday, but next Friday, which is November 13th, and then I'll get technical. Next Saturday, November 14th at 1 a.m. because it'll be around that time because we're going to be I'm doing this on his schedule. So that'll be live. And yeah, stay tuned for that. And again, thank you, Moang, for being on the podcast. Hope you guys have a good day.
Later.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. For comments, questions, or criticism, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com or message me on Instagram at instagram.com/rickyvang92.